Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's Monday, March 18th. A few days and the astronomical spring is going to begin in the Northern Hemisphere. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing at Polderbaan. The ducks are there. The sun is too, surprisingly. Was a bit hazy this morning, but it's looking like it's opening up. If you look in the ticker, you can see the weather. 240 degrees, 7 knot wind, so from the southwest. Visibility 10 kilometers or more, few clouds at 500 feet, scattered clouds at 700 feet, and it's already 11 degrees Celsius, 52 degrees Fahrenheit, 1015 hectopascals of pressure, no significant changes expected. Departures take place to the east, 09 is in use, and center and runway 18 right are being used for arrivals. A very good morning to everybody who is tuned in already. Erwin, Liewe, Dirk, Anne, Valentijn, Jackie, the Eagle, JD, Vinnie, Marja, Leo, Jeroen, Ed, Frits, Erik, goedemorgen allemaal. We've got big jets coming in. The first Queen is already in Dutch airspace. Singapore Airlines cargo arriving from Nairobi is expected in 15 minutes. Then there are 3 747s flying over German airspace coming this way. We have the Surinam A340 expected around 20 minutes past 12. The Emirates A380 is expected around the same time. Hope that one will overtake the other so that they don't land exactly simultaneously. One of the last chances for us to see the Surinam Airlines A340. From the 24th of March, they're going to start flying A330s, and I also had a look at the weather forecast for the upcoming second half of the week, and it doesn't look too good. A lot of rain is expected from Thursday onwards up until the weekend, so I'm not sure if we're going to see the A340 at least on AMS Live after today. Yeah, here you can see the status quo. It is opening up. I think that the clouds are going to decrease even. Runway usage, we're standing over here. So yeah, let's get it on. This is KLM flight 602 returning from LAX 787-10 Dreamliner. Touching down after 9 hours and 56 minutes of flight. 3 years old. First flight August 2020. Martin R, goedemorgen. Marian with an N, goedemorgen. Boyo Game, good morning. Cabidela, tuning in from Portugal, good morning, bom dia. Hadi Han, goedemorgen. Ronald, goedemorgen. SY, goedemorgen. And a very good morning to Made in Australia, coming in with a bang. Thank you so much for your super chat, mate. Very much appreciated. Get a camera, LOL. Big picture wise, this is what it currently looks like. Wind is coming from this direction. It was definitely more cloudy earlier. It's opening up quite rapidly, actually. Wind visualized on the scale of chimney smoke. And glide slope shots also, once again, visible. Vueling up next, Hans' favorite, flight 8354 arriving from Bilbao, A320neo, departed from Bilbao 1 hour 42 minutes ago. It's a 4-year-old airplane, first flight August 2019. In the background we have another A320neo SAS arriving from Copenhagen. And then the Dreamliner 10 arriving from San Francisco is coming. Mid-KS, good morning. Minsk. Still figuring out how to pronounce that properly. Hadi Mies, goedemorgen. Nelson, good morning. Veldi, morgen. Egbert, morgen. Geekaboo, goedemorgen. Hope everybody is doing alright on this Monday morning. SCS flight 2551 up next. A320 Neo arriving from Copenhagen. Flight time 1 hour and 3 minutes. That's par for the course, nominal. It's the SIA, 6 years old. First flight was in November 2017. Morgan, Gisela. The A350 from Delta arriving from Atlanta is already flying downwind overseas. Also coming. And after the Dreamliner from KLM arriving from San Francisco, we'll also see an Air Canada Dreamliner arriving from Toronto. Sadly, no butt shot from the SAS. Roadhouse, good morning. Tony, goedemorgen. Tin Winmint, good morning. Hadi Gosse, goedemorgen kerel. The Eagle, good morning. Alrighty, Flying AMS Live logo up next. KLM Flight 606 arriving from San Francisco. The airplane has been flying for 10 hours and 5 minutes to get here. The PH-BKM, brand new, meaning less than a year old. The first flight of this airplane was in fact in May last year, so in 2 months it's turning 1. They accidentally switched the reverser handle by the looks of it. What a mistake to make. Now, made in Australia, thank you so much once again for another super chat. You are the most laid back, cool. Thank you so much for your kind words, mate. Very much appreciated. And yeah, well, that's just the way I roll. If that's considered to be laid back, well, so be it. I'll happily accept that label. The cat, goedemorgen, good morning. Nightik, good morning. Indeed, they found reversers. They were wondering, what's this handle? What does it do? And what's that in the distance? Hey there, John. Good afternoon. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. And Roy. Good morning. Oh man, good timing. Air Canada arriving from Toronto. Coming in last. The Firefighters won. Hadi Sander, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you again. Captain Eddie Bosch and Andian, good evening. Optimus Toaster, good morning. Ishat, good morning, tuning in from Glasgow. Hope you guys are having sunny weather as well over there. And indeed, Martijn, Singapore Airlines cargo is expected. Let me see, where is it actually? Oh, no, not enlarge the screen. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Checking on my left to see if maybe I can spot it already. I think it should be within visual range, but yeah. You always need to know where to look precisely, otherwise you'll miss it. They are quite tiny. When they're so far away, that is. Either way, it will become visible soon enough. So let's just focus on what we can see best. EasyJet A319 arriving from Bristol. Up next, 12-year-old airplane. First flight May 2011. Adi Jeroen, goedemorgen. Debbie, good morning. Halil, good morning. John, other John, O'Donnell, good morning. Mrs. Professor, good morning, good to see you again. Hope you had a good night's rest. Ready, up next. Finnair flight 1301, A321 arriving from Helsinki, Finland. 2 hours 11 minutes underway. The airplane is 10 years old. First flight was in December 2013. Kresislaw Gaming says a bit of crosswind here, absolutely. Wind is blowing from 240 degrees, 7 knots, as you can see in the ticker, in the meter. So that is coming from over there, which means that they are crabbing again and pointing with their noses towards us. Now we might even capture a few contrails later. Don't see any just yet, but it does look like the weather is favorable. Good morning to everybody who has joined us in the meantime. Spotting lover Thomas, TL Gamer, who is tuning in from Pakistan. The first A350 of the show, Delta Airlines flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. 7 hours and 21 minutes underway. Looks like it's coming directly towards us. Whoa, here it comes. No, that's just digital zoom. 8-year-old airplane, first flight December 2015. Already quite noisy. And good morning, Ovek, Jan, Stefan. Let's see. I think I spy with my little eye a Queen of the Sky. Number 1 of 4. First airplane to arrive is an A320 arriving from London Gatwick, BA flight 2540, nicely illuminated by the sun that is shining over here. Flight time 42 minutes. 21-year-old airplane, began flying for the first time in March 2002. Lot Embraer 175 is now number 2, and number 3 is the first of 4 queens. The entire quad squad will be arriving today. The A340 roughly around the same time as the A380, 10 minutes before 12:30, aka 12:20 or so. Now, where is it? Thought I saw a departure. Nice clouds, by the way, with the sun shining like so. Oh, and the firefighters are doing a bit of spraying, or at least they did. Testing the gear, the equipment. Right, lot flight 265 up first, Embraer 175 arriving from Warsaw. Flight time 1 hour 44 minutes, 17-year-old airplane. First flight April 2006. Chris Orkerders also here, swimming right next to me. Right, landed safely, back to the 747. There she is, the first of 4 queens. Singapore Airlines cargo, flight 7343 arriving from Nairobi, Kenya, where this airplane left from 8 hours and 58 minutes ago. 747-400 freighter, 19 years old. Its first flight was in July of the year 2004. There are 3 more queens coming. We've got the A340 coming, and we have the A380 coming. The entire quad squad, all before 12:30 local time. That's a bummer. Idle reverse landing. Good morning, John, Roadhog, Ron, and Alvin. Perfect timing, mate. The first of 4 queens Hope this also was the quietest of them all. Now the next airplane to arrive has the potential to get loud. A330 from Delta 300. Flight 136 arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Which I am already hearing behind me. Won't be long. I have to break off tracking the 747 unfortunately, otherwise we're missing the landing of the Delta A330. Delta Airlines, flight 136, arriving from Detroit. 6 hours 59 minutes of flight time, 9-year-old airplane, first flight January 2015. More idle reverse landings. Bummer. T-Mac, good morning. Heime, goedemorgen. En Peter, goedemorgen. Good morning. Jillard, goedemorgen. Leen, goedemorgen. All other viewers who have joined in the meantime, good morning. Adriaan, goedemorgen. Now at the moment the sun is hiding a little bit behind some high clouds, but otherwise it is looking quite nice. There are a bit more clouds to the west over sea. Not sure if they are going to make it over land or if they are going to dissolve once over land. The Coots, the Duckies, the Dreamliners. American Airlines, flight 204, arriving from Philadelphia. 7878, 6 hours and 13 minutes of flight time, now touching down. Nine-year-old airplane, first flight February 2015. En goedemorgen, hello there. Richard, goedemorgen. Alan says, boy, you're going to need the reversers full on, please, sign to wave. Absolutely. I also think it might help if we prime the pilots by using Let's Get Loud in the background on the ATIS when they're tuning in to check the weather. If they're hearing Let's Get Loud on the background, might help to prime them thinking about using those reversers a bit more often. Two Dreamliners, and what is that third airplane? Hard to see, but we are seeing flying AMS Live logos coming this way. The first airplane to arrive, obviously from KLM, arriving from Cartagena. 78710 Dreamliner KLM flight 741. 8 hours and 54 minutes in the air now to get from Colombia back to the Netherlands. Goedemorgen Adrie. Morning Katie. who's tuning in from Turkey. Zalurk, goedemorgen, good morning. Northline, good morning. All other viewers as well, good morning. Donald is away going for groceries, or is that Daisy? Oh, coming in for a landing? No. It's like Duck Hunt. Trying to aim at the duck. Not too long though, because more Dreamliners are upon us. This is TUI flight 375, arriving from Punta Cana. 7 hours and 41 minutes underway. 7878 Dreamliner, 9 years old, first flight March 2015. Seems like this runway is once again the only runway being used for arrivals. Let's have a double check. As KLM flight 592 arriving from Johannesburg is coming in next. 777-200, or is it a 300? Let's see. Runway usage, what has changed? Yes, right. So we're standing over here. Currently the only runway being used for arrivals. The other two north-south oriented runways are in use for departures. And the Queens are also coming closer by. We're still also waiting for the A340 and the A380. More about that later. I will update the ticker with the runway usage after this landing. First, let's have a look. 777R KLM flight 592 arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa. This airplane left South Africa 10 hours and 43 minutes ago, and this airplane has been flying since February 2015, making it 9 years old. It's the PHBVN. Goedemorgen Clemencia. Seems more like a wheelie day than a reverser day so far. Also a little bizjet is going to runway 22, the little Schiphol Oostbaan. And our next airplane is arriving from Frankfurt, Lufthansa. Flight 988 A320. Let me quickly update the ticker, at least with respect to the runway usage. So departures were taking place from 09 this morning. However, it's back to a north-south runway configuration. So that part at least now is current. So for those of you just tuning in, welcome. Let me see if maybe after this airplane has landed, I can brief you in again. There are 3 more 747s underway. The A340 is underway from Surinam Airways. One of the last times we will be able to see it. Today the weather is decent. From Thursday onwards, my next potential streaming day this week, weather is turning sour. Rain all day, or at least that's what it was yesterday when I checked. So the A340 is still flying until the 24th this month, and then will be taken out of commission, or at least the lease expires and will not get renewed. which at least makes today one of the last, maybe even the very last chance to see the A340 on AMS Live at least. Now, up ahead in the distance, the next airplane is turning onto the glide slope. KLM flight 696 arriving from Toronto, A330-200. Overshot a little, you can see it. It moves now from right to left. Took it too wide, the turn was too wide. It is coming, gives us a few moments. And now, let me strategically place the camera so that you can also see the airplane in the meantime. Coming in, 747s. The first one is flying base, will be arriving shortly. The second one is almost in Dutch airspace. The third not far behind it. We are also in expectance of the Surinam Airways arriving around 12:18. And of course the A380 now west of Bucharest, expected 12:26. So nice spacing in between, temporal spacing, a couple of minutes, which means that we can probably see them back to back. The meter I will also update, take you through it. Nothing exciting, nice and calm weather, the sun is out as you guys can see. So now in the ticker is the meter that I just copy pasted, that is the weather. EHAM, that's Schiphol Airport. The 18th is today, 8:55 Zulu is 9:55 Central European time. You can see the local time in the bottom left. It starts off with the wind, which is 8 knots from 260 degrees, and wind direction is variable between 220 degrees and 290 degrees. Visibility is 10 kilometers or more, that's the 4 nines. Few clouds at 600 feet. The air temperature 12 degrees Celsius, the dew point 10 degrees Celsius. 12C is 12 times 2, 24 plus 30 equals roughly 54 F. QNH is the air pressure of 1015 hectopascals, and no sig means no significant changes in the upcoming 2 hours are expected. And in the meantime, KLM flight 696 has come closer. It's an A330-200 arriving from Toronto, Canada, 6 hours and 47 minutes underway. 17-year-old airplane, first flight July 2006. And you can clearly see that there's a bit of crosswind from the west to the east, because the airplanes are watching directly into our faces, into our eyes. And indeed, Flores, they are retiring the A340. The lease expires and the contract will not get renewed. They will start flying to Amsterdam using A330s after the A340 will retire later this week. It's a pity because there are no more than 100 still flying worldwide, I believe. Quite a rarity. Now look at what we see turn onto the glide slope in the distance. Another Queen of the Sky, number 2. In the foreground we have El Al flight 337 arriving from Tel Aviv, 737-800, flight 337, 4 hours and 38 minutes underway. 17-year-old airplane, first flight April 2006. And where is Captain Jerry to take in the glide slope shots with us? He's always missing when we have beautiful glide slope shots. He has to work on his timing. Now, The Israeli pilots also use their reversers every now and then, so we might get lucky and get a loud landing. Also horses passing by left of me. Horse and carriage. I believe we have seen that one before. And here's the second queen, ladies and gentlemen. Arriving from Nairobi in Kenya, the now number 6 worldwide, followed on flight radar 324 people. We've got a few more people watching, so maybe we can bump it up to top 5, top 4, top 3. It's now number 3. Big Al, morning mate. I looked back yesterday's stream because I missed a lot of messages in the chats and I totally missed a gifted membership from you, and apologies for that. And a belated thank you, Big Al. Hope that the person who got gifted your membership said thank you. Cargolux, operated by Cargolux Italia, arriving from Nairobi. 8 hours and 27 minutes on the way. 19-year-old airplane. First flight, April 2004. Let's look and listen. Hopefully louder than the previous one. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if you like stuff like this and you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like. It really helps to spread this content to more aviation enthusiasts such as yourselves. Also, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams. That is, if YouTube is working, because I already saw Liwe and a few other people mentioning that they did not get notified. Now, that is not something I can help, unfortunately. It is very disappointing. It has happened before for a period of time that some people did not get notified. That must be a YouTube issue. Hope they will resolve it quickly. Two down, 2 to go. That's 2 more 747s expected. Actually quite soon. And the A340 and the A380 are also still expected, all before 12:30 local time. So if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around, sit back, relax, and enjoy the incoming traffic. Up next, Lufthansa flight 2302, A319 I should say, arriving from Munich, south of Germany, Bavaria, flight time 1 hour and 5 minutes. The airplane in the background, turning onto the glide slope. The number 3 is a Chinese triple. That one also has the potential to get loud, sandwiched in between a 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from New York JFK from KLM, which will probably idle reverse. Alright, up next. KLM Flat 644. And Lewis says, I already sent 3 mails to YouTube, but don't get a response. It is very hard to reach YouTube, Liwe. I also had a few questions earlier. Also when we had outages on Friday, on roughly the same time, a couple of weeks in a row. And they are very hard to reach. I don't have a phone number that I can dial. You can only reach them via chatbot or an email. And I believe that they are AI chatbots and not actual people answering your questions. Really a pain in the ass. Lasse, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Right. Hopefully, let me see if the chat is... Yeah. Chat is in sync again with my laptop. I had to scroll to read the entire message of Liwe, and whenever I touch my phone on the chat window, there's a risk of it freezing and not updating. But I think it is updating again. Right, up next, China Cargo Airlines Flight 209, arrival from Shanghai in China. 777 freighter. Nearly half a day underway, ladies and gentlemen. 11 hours and 28 minutes. It's a year old. First flight June 2022. And there is a Turkish A330 behind it on the glide slope. Turkish flight 1951. Hadi Ron, goedemorgen. Gerrit, goedemorgen. All other viewers who have joined in the meantime, good morning. Not too bad, not too bad. Question is, can the Turkish do the same? We'll find out soon enough. Turkish Airlines Flight 1951 arrival from Istanbul, underway now for 3 hours and 3 minutes. That is par for the course. Istanbul, Amsterdam, roughly 3 hours on average. A330-300, 10 years old. First flight November 2013. The airplane behind it is an A320neo from EasyJet, arrival from London Gatwick. This third 747 is now flying in between Lelystad and Almere to the southwest. It will get directions to make a right-hand turn shortly, expectedly. Birds chirping, definitely can tell that spring is in the air. Nope. No dice. Phil says doesn't look that windy. You're right, it isn't. 7 knots or so. Hardly any ripples in the water. Looking on the scale of chimney smoke, there is a bit of wind, absolutely. It's not wind still completely, but compared with what we are used to here in the Netherlands, it's definitely calm. Now, let's see, that's 747 flying over Marken. It's a long shot, but I'm looking. Can I spot it with my eyes first of all? Bring it in closer. Probably not. Maybe if I were in the control tower, I think you would be able to see it from over there. I think buildings are in the way. The city of Amsterdam. And farms and trees. Still looking, because it would be tremendously cool to show it so far away. I think it's probably too low already, too close to the horizon. Things interfering that are in between. Right, so let's then focus on what we can see. The A320 Neo arriving from Gatwick. Oh, and the Estonian flag, Air Baltic is flying overhead. No, can't see it. Did see it land on center as I was driving up to the parking place of the Spoldersplatz. That's the blue special livery. Right, as you can see, the sun is no longer shining. Clouds are drifting in from the west. Unfortunately, it does look like we have seen the best of it for now at least. Wind is blowing from this direction, generally speaking, so don't think we'll see it clear up anytime soon, but you never know, maybe in an hour or so from now. Right, up next, KLM flight 1224 arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle, 737-800, flight time 46 minutes, that is nominal. Both London and Paris and Luxembourg, roughly 45 minutes. Then you have the 1 hour destinations, Dublin, Copenhagen. 2 hour destinations, I believe, Helsinki for one. Barcelona, perhaps too. Three-hour destinations: Istanbul, Athens. Howdy Gerrit. Tuning in from Rijnsburg, where the sun is also fading. Well, in that case, I think over at Sander's place in Katwijk, the sun is fading as well. Is that Waternet? Don't know. Alright, let's see up next. SAS. Where's the 747? Looks like it is going to be number 3 after play, which is going to be number 2. And indeed it is Waternet, the water company for Amsterdam and the surrounding environment. Now, where is that play? Neo. Just higher? Oh, there it is. Just having turned onto the glide slope. Now, where is the 747? Oh, yeah, in the background. Cool. Number 3 of 4 in total today. SAS flight 1553 arriving from Stockholm. quiet as a mouse. Will we then at least get a butt shot? I think we will. Yep. Good morning, J Gaming, and all other viewers. Dominic, Donna, good morning. And good morning to everybody who has joined in the meantime. 2 747s we already have seen, and the third one is now number 2 on the glide slope, being preceded by Play. Bright red airplane arriving from Reykjavik, the A320 Neo flight 460, 2 hours and 41 minutes underway. 6-year-old airplane, first flight April 2017. Red alert, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Now, I was just now saying that the wind is rather calm. It does feel like it is picking up at the moment. Hopefully temporarily, but there's definitely an increase in wind. Also a bit more rippliness in the water. Third airplane arriving from the east in the background below the 747, turning onto the glide slope. That would be number 175 arriving from Prague, from the Czech Republic, KLM flight 1352. Whoa, it's coming. Oh, bit of sunshine. Why over there, not over here? Not that I'm jealous. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Queen number 3 of 4 in total. Plus, we'll also get to see the A340 and the A380 today. The entire quad squad representing. One of the last times we'll be able to see the A340. But first, Air Atlanta Europe flying for Saudia, or at least on the tin it says Saudia Cargo. Arriving from Jeddah, flight 933, 5 hours 46 minutes underway. 747 freighter, 27 years old, a true millennial, first flight November 1996. Let's look and listen. Hey Paul, morning mate, just in time. Although you did already miss 2 queens, maybe. Third of 4 queens, lovely. But it does look like it's more of an idle reverse day than loud landing day. Not just for the 747s, but also for the other airplane types we've seen so far, with the exception of a few. Lasse says, did you see what aircraft we get from Icelandair today? I have no idea, mate. Alrighty, up next, KLM A352 arriving from the Czech Republic from Prague, Embraer 175, flight time 1 hour and 13 minutes. The airplane in the background is Croatia Airlines flight 450 arriving from Zagreb. Ah, the 757 in the Aurora Borealis livery. I think that's a channel first then. What time is it expected to land? That was a little bit of reverser. 11:31, thank you so much, Maria. Queen number 4 is above permanent now, Eric says, so that is nice. The 4th of the 4. Then also an Aurora Borealis 757 from Icelandair, expected around 11:30, I just was informed. And an hour later, less than an hour later, both the Surinam Airways A340, the last week in operation this week, and the Emirates A380 also. Up next, Croatia Airlines flight 450, Star Alliance livery. Maybe we even saw this very airplane yesterday. Let's see, it's the 9A CTO, I believe we did see it yesterday as well. Flight time 1 hour 43 minutes, 20 years old already, first flight February 2004. But thank you so much for the heads up, Lasse. Did not see that. I only checked the quads this morning. That is a nice bonus. That has thumbnail potential written all over it. Alrighty, next up. Hey, what the F? Bus driving on runway terrain. Have they made bus stops here? Yeah, I have to wrap it up, folks. The bus is coming. I have to catch my bus. Also have to swim to the other side to catch it. Right, arriving from Panama City. And has it been naughty? It does seem to be having a white-nosed tip. KLM flight 758, 787-10 Dreamliner. Now, let's see. We might get a combo shot with the final 747 of today. It will appear. Yeah, it is appearing on the same level from the right, quite clearly. Good morning to Elias, who is tuning in from Brazil. Garuda Indonesia is landing from Jakarta in 22 minutes. The alert is saying, was there also something special about that one? Again, I haven't checked, with the exception of the quad-engined airplanes. Howdy Patrick, goedemorgen. All other viewers as well, good morning. And isn't this a nice combo shot? Alrighty, up next, KLM flight 758, 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from Panama City, 9 hours 12 minutes underway. 1-year-old airplane, first flight June 2022. So young and already cosmetic surgery, having had a nose job. What is it with kids these days? I blame social media. Right, fourth queen of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Get out your queen emojis. It is Silkway West Airlines arriving from Baku. Flight 209, flight time 5 hours and 8 minutes. It's a 7478, 7 years old already. First flight was in November 2016. It's the VQBBM. Sweet. Now, Austrian Wolf, good morning. Hope you were just in time to see the landing of the fourth queen already. Fourth and final. Still the A340 is expected, the A380 is expected, and the Aurora Special Livery 757 of Icelandair is also coming this way. So if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around. Plenty more coming. If you like what you see, don't forget to drop a like. It really helps to spread the content to more aviation fans such as yourselves. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams, assuming YouTube is functioning properly. Which lately it hasn't, unfortunately. Next up, an Embraer 190 arriving from London City, British Airways flight 8451. Flight time 40 minutes. Embraer 190 short range, 14 years old, first flight February 2010. And an EasyJet A319 arriving from Copenhagen up next after this airplane. Quiet as a mouse, unlike the birds over here. They're definitely a bit noisy again. What you doing there, buddy? Alright, up next, EasyJet A319, arrival from Copenhagen, flight 27936, flight time 1 hour and 5 minutes, 15 years old, first flight, March 2009. Ready up next, KLM flight 636, arrival from Las Vegas. 7879 Dreamliner, 9 hours and 33 minutes underway. It's a 7-year-old airplane, first flight August 2016. Tarom, arrival from Bucharest in the background somewhere. Today the 737-800. And Jos is tuning in from Lisbon, where it is cloudy as it is over here, although now the Dreamliner nicely illuminated. Floaty. Hey there Norbert, good morning, good to see you again. Hope all is well. Right, up next, Tarom and Georgios, good morning. Good to see you again too, mate. Hope all is well. Tarom flight 361 arriving from Bucharest, 737-800, flight 361, 6-year-old airplane, first flight April 2017. And also a big thank you to Geekaboo, who celebrates 4 months of membership, and he writes, "It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superboy." Thank you so much for your continued support, Geekaboo. I hope you still like it in the lounge, and if you don't, do let me know what needs to be improved and let me see if I can work on that. Hope you will stick around for many more months to come, if not as a member, then at least as a valued frequent visitor. Ambulance on its way. En zo too is de Tarom. Hadi Roy, goedemorgen. Mario, good morning. Guten Morgen. Herzlich willkommen. Liebe deutsch sprechende Zuschauer. Just tuned in, you missed 4 747s already. We've ran out of them. No more are coming, at least not in the duration of today's stream. However, we will get treated on a special livery 757 arriving from Icelandair. Hey, missed approach, aborted takeoff, aborted landing. Interesting. That must have been because the runway was not clear yet. Looking behind me, the Tarom only just now off the runway. So the Speedbird A319 arriving from London Heathrow will be doing an extra round around the block. think Tarom did not clear the runway soon enough. They did not take the first exit, so they were on the runway pretty late still. Next up is number 190 arriving from Porto, Portugal, KLM flight 1710. Flight time 2 hours and 7 minutes. 15-year-old airplane, first flight January 2009. The airplane in the background is from Pegasus, Flypix A321neo, flight 1251 arriving from Istanbul. And a third airplane in the background coming this way. No, that's a fourth. That must be MASKargo arriving from Doha. It's not even the third airplane, but the fourth. Right, let's see. Glide slope shot, 3 airplanes. First plane is the A321neo arriving from Istanbul. The second airplane is a 737-800 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle. The third airplane is an A330-200 arriving from Doha, MASKargo, which is in the bottom third on the left-hand side of the center. Reframing it a bit more to the middle, almost at the same altitude visible in the shot as the rightmost airplane. So this is Pegasus, flight 1251 arriving from Istanbul, A321neo. 3 hours and 17 minutes underway, which is a bit longer than normal. Brand new airplane, really brand new. Started flying in the same month as the A321neo of Transavia last November. Airplane passing by left of me, but already quite high. Clouds are in the way, unfortunately. Outbound traffic to the north. Indeed, Lasse, looked a bit bumpy, the touchdown. Next up is going to be KLM flight 1228 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle, 737-800. Flight time is 44 minutes. MASKargo is now number 2 in the top left. 737 approaching now 13 years old. First flight was in March 2011. Nice wheelie. KLM style landing, keep up the speed, vacate late, sooner to the gate. Also forgoing the first exit. Good morning, Curry Jesus, Mike Wild, all other viewers who have joined in the meantime. If you just tuned in, you missed 4 747s already. I will timestamp them once I get home and I'm done with streaming later today. We're in expectation of a 757 from Icelandair with a special livery. One of the last flights to Amsterdam from the Surinam Airways A340. It's in its last week of being in service. And roughly around the same time as the A340 is expected, shortly before 12:30, the A380 is also expected. This is MASKargo arriving from Doha, flight 6126 A330-200. It's an Airbus A330-200 freighter. 6 hours and 46 minutes underway. 12 years old, first flight October 2011. And, whoa, another airplane in the background. Air Arabia Morocco up next, arriving from Tangier. And we might see a bit of sun shortly. Clouds are drifting from right to left. And this bit of blue is probably soon going to be in front of the sun. There are more patches of blue in the direction the wind is blowing from, so who knows, it might open up again a little bit. Russell is also back. And in the background, the number 2 is the A319 from British Airways that went around first, and in the bottom left, the third airplane is Garuda, Indonesia, arriving from Jakarta. The A350 from World to Fly / Corendon is flying northwest of me to the north on the downwind leg. We'll also see that land shortly. First up, Air Arabia Morocco, Air Arabia flight 127 arriving from Tangier. And K3 is going to do a photobomb from the right. Right, second attempt. Well, if you can call it a second attempt, the first attempt was broken off quite high already, so not a full-fledged first attempt. BA flight 430 arriving from London Heathrow, A319. Flight time a bit longer now because it had to circle around one more time. 53 minutes. The airplane 19 years old. First flight January 2005. And in the background, Garuda, Indonesia, flight 88, arriving from Jakarta, 777, retro livery, after flights to Amsterdam, currently in the sunlight, myself now, nice and warm. Will the airplane get illuminated by the sun soon? Now it has to come closer by. Come to the lights. almost there. There you go. Right, up next, Garuda Indonesia Flight 88 arriving from Jakarta. Brace yourselves, this airplane has been airborne now on this flight for 14 hours and 39 minutes. Nearly 15 hours. It's in the retro livery. It's a 777-300 9 years old, first flight August 2014. Almost 10. All right. Let's see. KLM A175 arriving from Zurich, and Corendon World to Fly A350 arriving from Curaçao are the next airplanes to approach. Let's also do an update of the weather, etc. So let's do a refresh of the weather first, and the wind is now a bit more westerly between northwest and southwest, has increased a little bit to 9 knots or 304, still few clouds at 1200 feet, 10 plus kilometers of visibility, we don't have a ceiling. The air temperature is 12 degrees Celsius. That is 12 times 2. 24. 24 plus 30 equals roughly 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Runway usage hasn't changed. Surinam A340 below Ireland. The A380 is about to cross into Austria in the vicinity of Vienna. Let me see if I can also paste that weather into the ticker successfully. I think I did succeed in that. Right, first follow the airplane that is landing. KLM Flight 1954 arriving from Zurich, Embraer 175. 7 years old. Keep up the speed, vacate late, sooner to the gate. That's KLM style. Right, up next, Corendon Flight 598 A350-900 arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. Flight time 8 hours and 27 minutes as we speak. A 1-year-old airplane, first flight April 2022. I also see the first airplane on Flight Radar that is going to go to center. So while I am copy pasting that METAR into the ticker, let me also update runway usage, because center will be used now also for arrivals together with 18 right. Even though the LVNL website just now said that everything inbound was going to Polderbaan exclusively. Clearly not the case. Hey, morgen Aphrodite, good to see you again. Hope you're enjoying your holidays. Now, first airplane to go to center is Norwegian, which is that a grumpy face? It does look like there's something on the tail. Clickety click. Friet, it's our good friend Fridtjof Nansen. Arrival from Stockholm, 737-800, flight time 1 hour and 35 minutes. 13-year-old airplane, first flight November 2010. Morgen. Leuk, tijd geleden. Ja. Was goed? Ja, met jou ook. Mag niet klagen. Lekker rustig hier. Wel nog een beetje koude handen, doe wel weer eventjes mijn handschoenen aan. Er komen nog een paar leuke kisten aan. Ja? 757 Aurora livery van Icelandair. En nog A340 en nou ja, de A380, allemaal voor 12:30. Ja. Ja, die ging rond. De vorige kist die was nog niet op tijd van de runway. Daarom was het een beetje langzaam. Dus ik zag hem al opstijgen, toen keek ik achter me en toen was hij net aan het... Ja. Ja, normaal doen ze dat niet. Precies. So this is KLM flight 986. Embraer 190, arriving from London City. Parallel to it is ITA, the beautiful blue Azzurro with backlight, a bit dark. Aeromexico is the number 2 for Polderbaan, visible in the distance. Up first, A319 EasyJet flight 27840, arriving from London Stansted. And let's see, there was also... Oh yeah, that's the 777 arriving from Cape Town. That is flying parallel to this airplane to the center runway, unfortunately. So here it is. KLM flight 598 777-300 arrival from Cape Town, South Africa. 11 hours and 11 minutes underway. 13-year-old airplane, the PHBVF. First flight was in January 2011. Right, now back to the next airplane for Polderbound Aero Mexico Flight 25, arriving from Mexico City. Standard livery, no Quetzalcoatl, unfortunately. Far on the left hand side, same altitude, you can also see another airplane that is coming this way. You have to look closely, but it is visible. First up, Aero Mexico Flight 25, it's a 7879 Dreamliner arriving from Mexico City, 9 hours and 39 minutes underway. 7-year-old airplane, first flight December 2016. And nicely illuminated by the sun. Flying parallel to it is a 737 from KLM arriving from Geneva. Might get a combo shot with that. Faint. It was already quite low. Now luckily our Mexican friends did find the right lever for the reverser. It wasn't very loud, but it wasn't a full reverse, I think. Also not the most of spray that we've seen, but definitely something. Alrighty, up next on our runway is EasyJet A319 arriving from Edinburgh. We have KLM flying parallel, or at least German Airways. Number 190 arriving from Stuttgart. Flying for KLM flight 1868. Hey there, Rich, good morning. Yinketh Esweller, good morning. And all other viewers who have joined in the meantime, good morning to you too. Right, the Embraer 190 arriving from Stuttgart. KLM flight 1868, underway for an hour. Embraer 190 long range, 17 years old, first flight January 2007. Hey, dankjewel. Fijne dag, jongens. Quickly turning back, the A319 arriving from Edinburgh, about to land on the Polderbound flight 27836. Flight time 1 hour and 4 minutes. The OE LKK, 16 years old, first flight February 2008. Nice lighting, nice butt shot. And Aphrodite is informing us that the Aurora Borealis special livery from Icelandair is expected in 27 minutes. Thank you for the update. Next up, Embraer 175 arriving from Norwich, and parallel to it, an A320 from ITA arriving from Rome. So the other one must have been from Milan. Yeah, well, it's a pity that they sent those beautiful blue airplanes to the wrong runway. Hope they will do better with the other airplanes of interest. KLM flight 1516. Embraer 175 arriving from Norwich. Short flight. Airplane is 6 years old. First flight January 2018. Hey! Alitalia, nice! ITA in the retro livery. Nice! ITA's predecessor. No more 747s today, Rich. We already had 4. Sadly, if you just tuned in, you missed all of them. I will timestamp them later in the day, so do come back and you can see them. But we're all out of 747s, just A340 and A380 we have left. In terms of quad-engined airplanes, that is. Also the previous livery of Transavia, this is the rental, the 737-700, flying for KLM right now. Let's see. Next up, traffic to the center runway. Looking around, does that mean then that there is an inspection in progress or about to begin? Or is it just coincidence? Right now, not seeing any flashlights of bird control vehicles, both north or south of me on the runway. So it might just be coincidence. What is going on here? I see a boom pole. And somebody, are they shooting a commercial? What is it? Professional camera, sound engineer with a boom pole. Interesting. And somebody on the desk with a laptop. Just when you thought you've seen everything. Right. Traffic to Polderbaan, in the meantime also coming this way. Narrow bodies galore for the time being. First up, this is Transavia flight 6602 going to the center runway, arriving from Innsbruck. Chris is making a ruckus, Chris de Koet. Transavia flight 6602, flight time 1 hour and 17 minutes. 13 years old, first flight May 2010. I am fascinated by what they're doing over there. What is it? They also have a utility cart. They're stealing my ideas. Someone in the background doing what seems to be desk work. Someone in the foreground. Is that the director? On the left hand side of the triplet? I don't know. Really weird stuff. Anyway, German Airways Embraer 190 flying for KLM as KLM flight 1050 arriving from Bristol. 52 minutes underway. Embraer 190 long range. 18-year-old airplane, first flight January 2006. Right. Maybe we should make this a thumbnail and you guys think of a nice title, a nice subheader. Drop it in the comments. Anyway, next up is going to be a Corendon Dreamliner arriving from Curaçao Willemstad. Nice blue sky, or at least bluish, looking to the north. However, well, the second airplane on the glide slope is very far away, so probably lower. Hard for me to see anything. Still far out. 737 arriving from Dublin, Ryanair, the number 2. Let's just focus on what's coming in next. So, TUI flight 381 arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, 787 Dreamliner. The smallest of the bunch, the 787-8. 8 hours and 24 minutes underway. Nine-year-old airplane, first flight May 2014. Now, there it is. The next airplane to arrive on Polderbaan. Ryanair, flight 420, arriving from Dublin, Ireland, 737-800. And there's a Learjet coming from my left. What altitude is it? 4,500 feet. Should be able to see it. Just a little north of me. Over Haarlem, okay, a bit more to the north than I was looking. Got it. Absolutely not more north than I was looking, but closer by than I was looking. Let's see. There it is. Just a little speck in the sky, as is our next airplane, although a bit more specks now than before. Ryanair flight 420 up next. Might get loud, might get disappointing. 1 hour and 5 minutes underway. 737-800, 16 years old, first flight February 2008. The EIDYC. Hey, top of the morning, Evan. You survived the marathon. Did you manage to complete the full marathon? Congratulations, buddy. That's quite an accomplishment. binoculars, laptop. Huh. Professional camera. Boom pole. And a utility card. Really strange stuff going on. Six hours and 30 minutes. Nice. No more than 6 hours and 30 minutes. Either way, Evan, you're a true champ if you can finish a whole marathon without breaking down. So hats off to you, mate. Well done. Alrighty, next up KLM Flight 984 arriving from London City in Embraer 190. Bird controller has been quite quiet. Only once did I hear it use the bird sounds, the sound effects. No fireworks, no flares, no nothing. Parallel arrival still in progress. And this is KLM Flight 984 arriving from London City. And Han says, shouldn't be that difficult, even Martin Garrix completed. Well, Han, you lead by example. If you can finish one, then let me also give it a go. 42 effing kilometers. No way. If you're injury prone like I am with my ankles, that is a hard feat to accomplish. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, Embraer 190, KLM Flight 984, arriving from London City, flight time 41 minutes, the PHEZS, 13 years old, first flight August 2010. Good news, the special livery Icelandair 757 has been assigned to Polderbaan, Aphrodite just now mentioned. Was to be expected, then again, when it's parallel arrivals you never know for sure. Now we do. At least with near certainty. Don't know if omgevingsinfo Schiphol is 100% reliable, but it is a good indication. Next up, a bigger bird than the bird we saw just now. KLM Flight 767, arriving from Bonaire. Airbus A330-300. 8 hours and 27 minutes on the way to get here. The PHAKD, 11 years old, first flight March 2012. Oh, excuses, Han. Only a half marathon Martin did, and I won because of some disabilities. Well, in that case, I'm not too sure if running a marathon is that easy. Apparently not for everybody, you and me included. Half marathon, that is how much? 21 kilometers. That might still be doable. I think I have run 10Ks in the past. You have to be extremely careful with building up the time, the duration. If you go too quickly, that's the danger. You always are training for something, a run or something. There's always a deadline. Captain Wheelie seems to have made promotion to the A330 league. That was quite a nice one. Plus we also heard some of the reversers. That was very nice indeed. And that Learjet is now somewhere over there approaching the runway. Can I see it? Don't think I can. In that case, never mind. Parallel arrival still in progress. There is an Embraer that is passing by us. Hey there Blackburst, hey there Cessna driver. Roller skating, well, that is one of the things I did skiing back when I was in elementary school that actually hurt one of my ankles, and the other one was just dumb youthfulness, jumping from something high and landing incorrectly in the schoolyard in elementary school. So the ligaments of both my ankles somewhat overstretched. Dangerous sports. Skateboarding, skiing, roller skating. Glad you're enjoying Cessna driver. Happy to hear that. Hope everybody is enjoying. If you are liking what you're seeing and you haven't already, consider dropping a like. It really helps to spread the content. Well, current status quo. Here and there some openings between the clouds. Definitely bits of blue. Now the wind is still blowing from the west, and that is over there. And if you look in the distance, you can see blue sky. So might actually open up even further. The wind on the scale of chimney smoke looks like this. Two airplanes on the glide slope visible to the north. Embraer 175 arriving from Southampton and 737-800 arriving from Birmingham. That Learjet arriving from Manchester seems to be suffering from the same issue that Qatar triple was having yesterday, being stuck in the air. That also explains why I wasn't able to see it. It was probably frozen already for a longer time, and hence I was looking, but nothing was there. Anyway, KLM Flight 918 up next, arriving from Southampton, Embraer 175. Touching down after 52 minutes of flight. 5-year-old airplane, first flight April 2018. First officer giving us a wave. Of course, I politely waved back. And Evelyn just spotted the 757 in real life. Doing some reconnaissance further to the north. There's also a motorcyclist coming this way, probably a copper. Or is it? Yeah, that's a copper. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Up next is a KLM flight, but it is a Transavia airplane, one of the current liveries. Rental, arriving from Birmingham, flying as KLM flight 1422, 44 minutes of flight time. The airplane is 21 years old, first flight June 2002. More Embraers flying parallel. And Clemencia says that the QR275 from Doha will arrive in 8 minutes. That is good to know. But from Doha, so center runway, I'm assuming. Up next, a very special Icelandair special livery, the Aurora Borealis. I think that's a channel premiere. This airplane has thumbnail potential written all over it. Arriving from Iceland, Reykjavik. It's a 757-200, so I believe we are not allowed to call this a pencil officially, because I believe that that nickname is specifically for the 300 series. Flight time 2 hours and 43 minutes, par for the course. The airplane is 29 years old, ladies and gentlemen, and began flying in April 1994. I believe that was the year that I graduated from elementary school and went to middle school / high school after that, after the summer break. Indeed, Evelyn, let's hope it has good lighting. Well, it starts promising. A little bit of digital zoom to get a little sneak preview, but back to the optical zoom. Don't want to introduce any deformities, pixelation. Very nice, very nice. Not the best lighting. It would have been better if it were later in the day with the sun shining from behind us. Let's see what it looks like from this side. Too much reflections probably. So now in the digital zoom range, so I will introduce some artifacts being zoomed in like this. Also you see definitely wind, warmth, heat distortion, heat waves. Yeah, don't think, well, let's wait a little bit longer. Cessna driver says, come to Louisville, get your fill of 757s, 767s, MD-11s, A300s and 747s. That sounds heavenly. Who knows? Well, if this channel ever comes off the ground and starts running a bit, there's definitely some ideas for going abroad, doing some specials, but at the moment the channel is still too tiny to be able to fund stuff like that. But who knows? It's always good to have dreams. Right, well, that was the Aurora Borealis special livery, channel first. The next airplane already knocking on the door from the other side. Hey, Qatar is coming to this runway, which means runway closure of center, at least for arriving traffic. Means I will have to update the ticker in a moment, but that I will happily do. Ciao! Matter of fact, let me do that right away. So runway usage once again has changed. Polderbaan, runway 18 right, currently the only runway being used for arrivals. Center will reopen for departures expectedly. I'm going to go ahead and already fill that in the ticker. Also, a quick look at what is coming. SLM is flying west of London, expected 12:20. Emirates A388 6 minutes later, so there's nice temporal spacing between the two. That is nice. Transavia will be too late. I think I will have finished the stream by then. In terms of weather, wind from the west, 10 knots, 304, nothing particular. 12 degrees still. I copied it, I will paste it. And also take you through the details for those of you who don't know how to read METARs in a minute. First up, the Qatar Airways 777, arriving from Doha, flight 275. 6 hours and 27 minutes underway. 777-200, long range, 13 years old. Another idle reverse landing. Hey, it is Captain Glideslope. Who says my head hurts from Super Slope Sunday. That is a terrific nickname. Super Slope Sunday. Well, it has been Super Slope Monday today as well. We're just rinsing and repeating. Good to see you again. I hope you are doing well. Always a pleasure to have you in the stream. Now, I already copied the weather just now. Let me paste it into the ticker and also take you guys through it. Not everybody knows what it means, and it can be very informative if you know how to read METARs. They are the weather reports that get updated twice an hour over here at Schiphol Airport at 25 past and 5 to the hour. EHAM is Schiphol Airport. AMS is another abbreviation used internationally for this airport. Then the date and time. The 18th is today, 10:25 Z means 10:25 Zulu time. That's Greenwich Mean Time, and that is from 15 minutes ago. Starts off with wind, 270 degrees is where the wind is coming from, 10 knots. The visibility is 9999, 10 plus kilometers. We have few clouds at 4,000 feet. The air temperature is 12 degrees Celsius. The dew point is 8 degrees Celsius. 12 C, 12 times 2 is 24 plus 30 equals 54 Fahrenheit. Q 1015, QNH. Air pressure in hectopascals 1015. No SIG means no significant changes in the weather in the next 2 hours. So if you know how to read these, it is very informative. This was KLM flight 1724 returning from Brussels. And we have another Embraer coming this way. This is KLM flight 1904, arriving from Hanover. 40 minutes of flight time. Embraer 190, 8 years old, first flight November 2015. With the sun now immediately behind me, the way the camera is positioned makes looking in the distance on my camera screen a bit more challenging to properly see the airplanes that are behind it. There was one, another Embraer 175 arriving from Stavanger. There's an E2 Embraer approaching the glide slope from the west. Oh, Austrian Wolf says, asks if the A380 is the last plane of the day. Well, if it arrives later than the A340, the answer is yes. Also, if you want to draw my attention in the chat, use the @ symbol and use @AMS Live, or I think also regular AMS Live works as well. Then it becomes red in my screen. So what Jerry did to greet me, but @AMS doesn't highlight in my chat. So if you use, I believe, just AMS Live or @AMS Live, the name turns red in my chat window, makes it a bit more easier to see if anybody is asking or telling me something directly. Just a little tip for those of you watching. Also, if you want to draw the attention of other people, use their name with the @ symbol in front of it. This is KLM flight 1198, arriving from Stavanger, Embraer 175. So, the sun is out over there. Wind is blowing from over there. More bits of blue are definitely coming this way. Happy to see that. If you looked to the forecasts for later this week, you won't be so happy, at least if you live in the Netherlands. Rain, rain, rain again from Thursday onwards. I hope they change that, it becomes better. And indeed, Wolfgang, like that. And Rick says, do you have any tips coming in for a weekend in 2 weeks? Well, bring good weather along. And make sure you bring along clothes for all kinds of weather. It can be cold, it can be wet. It could also be sunny and warm. And if you want to visit Schiphol, Polderbaan is your best bet because it's always open. If not for inbound, then for outbound. And at least when parallel arrivals or departures take place, you can see it nicely from over here. Cargolux 0624 is still closed for maintenance, so there's also activity going on around the McDonald's, Spottersplaats. The Aalsmeerbaan, runway 18 left, 36 right. It's also being used now almost constantly. The center runway is what we call in Dutch vliegende kiep. I don't know a proper translation for it. It is secondary for whatever traffic is needed. So if it's busy with inbound, it's a secondary runway for inbound, and a secondary runway for outbound if it gets busy with outbound traffic. But bring a rain suit, umbrella, come prepared. Righty, another E2 Embraer arriving from Stockholm. There's a sticker on it, but that's on the other side. Indeed, Bomberon, the Koet is calling. But I think it's missing its friend. Or it doesn't like the stones that they have put there. But What you doing, buddy? The ducks don't give a duck. Right. We have one more narrow body appetizer and then it is back to a big bird. Big bird is already coming. 777. Before that, an Embraer 175 arriving from Bremen, KLM flight 1754. Flight time 36 minutes. The airplane is 6 years old. First flight January 2018. Right, next up, 777 time. It is KLM flight 706, 777-200 Flight time 10 hours and 28 minutes. The PHBQO, 17 years old. First flight January 2007. And it is opening up nicely over here. Finally. E2 Embraer in the background behind it. Now in the top left quadrant of your field of view. Arriving from Gothenburg, KLM flight 1154. But first, KLM flight 706 arriving from Rio de Janeiro. 10 hours and 28 minutes on the way. Hoi. Goeiedag.
Jij staat de hele dag te zenden, begrepen we?
Niet de hele dag hoor, nee hoor. Ik blijf tot de A380 en dan is het klaar.
Je blijft tot de A380?
Ja.
En hoe laat komt die?
Die komt over een half uurtje ongeveer.
Oh, ja.
En ook de A340 komt nog. Dus de laatste week dat die vliegt.
Oh ja?
Ja. Dan gaan ze weer naar een ander type over. Dus het is een vrij zeldzaam vliegtuig. Het vliegt het nummer 100 van wereldwijd.
En die komt straks binnen?
Die komt straks weer binnen.
Jeetje.
Ja. Hi. Now the film crew. In the meantime, I'm live streaming. So in the meantime, the film crew that we saw earlier has now also arrived over here.
Yeah. Hi. Hi.
What are you guys filming?
Ik maak een uitzending van Pointer.
Oh, alweer? Ja. Vorige keer waren jullie ook op met collega's aan de andere kant met een ander team.
Klopt, dat is een radio, dat zijn wij ook.
Ah,
klopt,
ja. Voor 4 april.
Ja, wij voor 11 april.
Voor jullie voor 11 april? Oké. Oké.
Mogen we jou filmen?
Dat mag, zeker, ja hoor.
Maar dat is verder kijken en dan moet je dan van mij even even eerst een beetje steppen waar we zijn.
Wil je deze wel vragen of het mocht?
Nee, tuurlijk, snap ik, tuurlijk. Okay, so there's a part 2 a week later, apparently. New team filming. So this was KLM flight 1154, the E2 Embraer, arriving from Gothenburg.
Goeiedag.
Hi.
Tegen wie sta je nou te praten?
Publiek.
Publiek?
Ik ben aan het livestreamen. Dus er zijn nu 739 mensen aan het meekijken, wereldwijd. Ja. En er wordt ook gecommuniceerd over de live chat.
Oh, ik zie het.
Dus dat zie ik ook hier op mijn scherm.
Oostenrijk is aanwezig.
Inderdaad, Oostenrijk, Groot-Brittannië, een hele hoop Nederlanders ook. Ja,
En jij
zeker.
staat hier dan voor die mensen...
Ik ben een aantal uren, een paar keer per week, een aantal uren per dag ben ik aan het livestreamen. En dat gaat via YouTube. Dus mensen die pikken dat op, die kijken mee. En ja, die vinden dat ook leuk.
En wat is nou de mooiste om te filmen?
Mooiste om te filmen? Ik denk toch wel de 747's, Boeing 747.
Ja?
Die worden niet meer hier gebruikt voor passagiers, dus het is alleen nog maar voor cargo. Dus je ziet ze steeds minder en minder. En dat is toch nog wel een van de mooiste vliegtuigen, ook gewoon qua bouw, qua esthetiek. En intussen moet ik natuurlijk ook door blijven filmen. Ik had het publiek al even verteld dat ik gefilmd werd, dus die weten ook wat er gebeurt. Although the people who are not from the Netherlands will probably not understand what I'm saying. Normally I'm also talking in English to do my commentary, because although the majority of the viewers is Dutch, the biggest part of the people is not from the Netherlands and speaks English.
Oh ja, dat is heel inclusief van jou.
Precies, heel inclusief.
Ja. Zo inclusief ben ik niet.
Nee.
Niet nu.
Nee, dat maakt ook helemaal niet uit.
Oké, gelukkig. En waarom sta je nu hier? Want dit is niet de officiële spottersplek.
Dit is niet de officiële spottersplek, maar heel vaak waait de wind uit het westen of uit het zuidwesten. Dan wordt er hier geland. Deze landingsbaan, daar mag ook alleen maar naar het noorden toe worden gestart en van het noorden uit worden geland. Dus er is één richting waar ze op komen en als de wind niet verandert, dan komen ze hier, landen ze hier. En wij staan hier precies in lijn met de eerste uitgang. En bijvoorbeeld de kleine vliegtuigen, misschien de volgende die er nu aankomt ook, die zal dan landen, afremmen en ook de eerste afslag nemen om van de landingsbaan af te gaan. En dan staan we er recht in lijn mee. Dus dan kunnen we dat vliegtuig recht van achteren zien. En dat is dan een buttshot. Daar hebben we zelfs een speciaal emoji voor in de live chat. Ja, dus dan kunnen de mensen... Nee, het is tekst. Nee, we moeten wel netjes blijven natuurlijk. Maar wel de tekst. En dit is een wheelie die we nu zien. Dus dan houdt de piloot de nose gear heel lang omhoog.
Waarom doet hij dat?
Dat is om te remmen. I think this is Captain Wheelie, folks. The return of Captain Wheelie. Er is één captain die op de Embraer 190 vliegt. Dat is dit type. En die wil nog wel eens hele lange wheelies maken. Dus dat hij het neuswiel omhoog houdt. Hij heeft wel extra spoilers omhoog. Dus extra weerstand om te remmen. Ja. Maar in plaats van dat hij hem snel op de grond zet en dan de motoren laat opspoelen met reverse thrust, zoals dat heet. Dus remkracht. Houdt hij gewoon de boel in de lucht. Remt hij gewoon door de luchtweerstand. Op een gegeven moment dan kan hij de neus niet meer omhoog houden. Zakt hij op de grond. Dan remt hij nog verder op te remmen. Dus dat is een hele slijtvaste manier om te remmen, zou ik maar zeggen.
Zag heel spectaculair uit.
Draai weer eventjes terug voor het volgende vliegtuig.
Welke zijn nou de grootste herrieschoppers?
De grootste herrieschoppers, dat zijn de vliegtuigen die hun reverse thrust gebruiken. Het hoeft niet per se, tenminste als het gaat om landend verkeer, maakt niet uit, groot of klein. Ook kleintjes kunnen heel luid worden als ze die motoren opspoelen. Meestal doen ze dat hier niet omdat deze landingsbaan heel lang is. En met deze windomstandigheden is de landingsbaan lang genoeg dat ze gewoon kunnen uitrollen zonder problemen. Maar ook hele kleine vliegtuigen, als ze dat ding, die reverse thrust heel hard aanzetten, dan is dat ook gewoon heel luid. Ja. Dus het maakt niet per se uit of het heel groot is of heel klein. Het gaat er vooral om, landen ze met reverse thrust of niet. Want je hoort die vliegtuigen net ook, ze maken niet heel veel geluid als ze landen.
Dit is een kleintje?
Dit is een kleintje. Die kan dus wel luid worden als die reverse thrust zou gebruiken, maar de meeste vliegtuigen doen dat niet. Dit is er ook eentje die vliegt voor KLM. Het is German Airways, maar dat is een gehuurd vliegtuig, dus dat is voor eigenlijk een KLM vlucht. En je hoort het. Deze gebruikt dus alleen, je hoort een beetje gepiep van de remmen. Precies, dat doet dit type wel vaker, maar dat is dan ook het enige. Het is verder eigenlijk best een heel stil vliegtuig. Je hoeft je stem niet te verheffen. Deze gaat nu dus hier via die eerste uitgang. Dus hier komt een buttshot aan, zoals we dat dan aankondigen. Want je ziet dat vliegtuig nu ook rechts van achteren.
Oh ja.
Dat is een buttshot. En dan zie je ook hier dat mensen in de chat ook het buttshot emoji gebruiken die ik daarvoor heb gemaakt.
Zitten er mensen die gewoon
Zitten
niet
mensen,
naar jou te
ja,
kijken?
absoluut. Die kijken en luisteren ook mee met het interview nu. Dus de Nederlanders die begrijpen het, de buitenlanders die snappen het niet.
Er niks van.
The moderators will have to translate, the Dutch moderators, what we're now saying.
Ja. Nou, komt er alweer eentje aan.
Komt er alweer eentje aan.
Het is lopende bandwerk, hè?
Het is lopende bandwerk, ja zeker. Nu komt er een vliegtuig aan, die kan wel luid worden. Dan zie je ook een voorbeeld dat ook kleine vliegtuigen luid kunnen zijn. Als deze tenminste dat doet. Dit is een Ryanair, gewoon een 737, dus een van de meest veel voorkomende vliegtuigen. Maar deze piloten willen nog wel eens ook op deze landingsbaan hun reversers aanzetten en dan wordt het luid. Zul je zien dat hij het nu niet doet? Dat zul je altijd zien,
zo.
precies.
Ja. Oké. Maar
dat is-
heb je wel gemerkt dat ze in de loop der jaren stiller zijn geworden, de vliegtuigen?
Zonder meer. Er zijn, KLM heeft nieuwe Embraers E2, die hebben hele grote motoren. En juist hoe groter die motoren, hoe stiller ze zijn. Als die opstijgen, de eerste paar keer dat die opstegen, ik dacht, wanneer ga je nou naar vol vermogen? Was het al vol vermogen? Dus je hoort absoluut, en dat is absoluut ook wel een punt dat Schiphol en KLM maken van ja, we kunnen ook, als we de geluidsoverlast willen verminderen, over naar stillere vliegtuigen. De nieuwere vliegtuigen zijn echt wel heel veel stiller dan die oudere vliegtuigen. En ook door bijvoorbeeld die reversers niet te gebruiken als het even niet hoeft, ja, die landingen zijn dan best wel luid, of best wel stil. Bij opstijgen, dan moet je wel echt die nieuwere vliegtuigtypes hebben. Die maken wel veel minder geluid. Dat is wel echt heel duidelijk merkbaar.
Ja. Deze gaat herrie maken, zei je.
Nou, het zou kunnen. Je zal zien dat nu ik het heb gezegd, dat ik het heb gejinxed. Nee, toch wel. Dan is het een stukje luider.
Er is een heel groot verschil vergeleken met een ander vliegtuig.
Ja.
Het is een kleintje.
Nee, dat is een kleintje. Dus het maakt niet uit groot of klein. Het gaat bij landen gaat het er echt om, gebruiken ze die reverser of niet. Bij opstijgende vliegtuigen, ja, dan heb je gewoon wel met nieuwere vliegtuigen, die zijn gewoon stiller. Die motoren zijn erop ontworpen dat er ook veel meer koude lucht rond de kern van die motor gaat. En dat geeft een soort geluidsisolatie. Dus dat maakt dat die bij het starten gewoon veel minder herrie maakt dan de oudere vliegtuigen.
Maar voor jou, is het stiekem niet ook lekker als ze met veel kabaal aankomen?
Ik hou ervan als ze luid zijn. En de mensen die kijken vinden dat ook leuk.
Ja,
dat is zonder ontegenzeggelijk waar. Dus ja, daar zullen misschien de omwonenden niet altijd even blij mee zijn. Maar wij worden daar wel altijd heel blij van als het luid is.
Want jij woont hier niet in de buurt.
Ik woon hier 15 kilometer verderop in Lisse. Dus ik woon wel in de buurt. En normaal nu is een van de landingsbanen die is dicht. Een van de meest gebruikte, de Kaagbaan. En die wordt normaal gebruikt ook voor starten en landen. Samen met deze, een van de 2 preferente landingsbanen. Dus dat zijn banen die eigenlijk altijd open zijn, tenzij het door de wind echt niet kan.
Ja.
Dus die vliegtuigen die komen bijna altijd over en daar ben ik mee opgegroeid, dus ik vind dat juist leuk. Daarom sta ik ook hier, omdat ik het leuk vind. Dus ik heb er geen last van.
Geen slapeloze nacht.
Goede isolatie, dat helpt een hoop. Dubbel glas. Nee, dus ik heb daar persoonlijk geen last van. Ondanks dat ik vrij nabij woon. Sorry. Het blijft hier doorgaan, ja precies.
Mensen verwachten wat.
Nou, sterker nog... eens even te kijken. Hier ook weer een wheelie.
Kijk eens bij de KLM, maar het is gewoon les in dat wieltje omhoog houden.
Nou, wat je vaak ziet, luchtmachtpiloten die op gevechtsvliegtuigen vliegen, die landen meestal op deze manier. Die gebruiken dat aerodynamic braking heel vaak. En je ziet toch wel vaak dat mensen, als ze bij Defensie weggaan, bij de luchtmacht, dat ze dan bijvoorbeeld ook doorstromen naar de KLM als
dan blijven ze
gezagvoerder.
gewoon doen alsof ze in een straaljager zitten.
Dan denk ik dat, zeker bij die kleintjes, dan voelt het misschien ook wat meer als een straaljager, dat ze dat dan toch doen.
Ja.
Absoluut. Maar goed, je ziet hier ook dat de eendjes en de koeten, die zitten hier gewoon. Dus het is niet dat het zo luid is dat zij het te luid vinden om hier hun nestje te hebben en om gewoon rustig te slapen. Die eendjes die liggen daar de hele tijd al te snurken. Right, so I was getting interviewed, and that is for Dutch national television, so it has to be in Dutch, unfortunately. So there was also a request in the live chat if you could interview me in English, but I don't think that is possible. Probably. There is a LATAM cargo underway that can be loud. Where is it? I'm looking on flight radar. That is still not in the immediate vicinity. Next up is another one of those quiet airplanes. This is one of those newer Embraers with big engines that is very quiet. E2 Embraer, KLM Flight 1278, arriving from Edinburgh. Nou, die hoor je dus weer bijna niet, hè?
Ja, natuurlijk. Echt een groot verschil.
Het is een enorm verschil. En dus voor landen is het echt, gebruik je die reverser of niet? Als er een grote 747 komt die volgeladen zit met cargo, die is heel zwaar. Dus die moet gewoon wel wat extra gas geven met reverse om tijdig te kunnen stoppen. Dus die maakt meestal wel herrie. Grotere kisten in het algemeen maken wat meer herrie omdat ze wat zwaarder zijn. Maar als ze gewoon zonder landen, dan is dat eigenlijk best stil.
Maar je was de mensen net aan het waarschuwen dat er een hele luide aankomt.
Nou nee, ik zag dat er in de live chat, dus de mensen die aan het kijken zijn nu, die ook interacteren en waar ik ook mee interacteer, die waarschuwden dat er een LATAM cargo aankwam. Dus een vrachtvliegtuig.
Zitten ze op een ander scherm dan te kijken nog?
Sorry?
Zitten ze op 2 schermen te kijken dan?
Ja, nee, kijk, zoals ik hier ook, ik heb ook mijn live chat die je daar ook ziet, heb ik hieronder staan. En ik zit ook de hele tijd op Flight Radar mee te kijken naar het verkeer wat er aankomt. Dus ik zie inderdaad nu dat die LATAM Cargo 767, dat is een ouderwetse kist. Dat is een vrachtvliegtuig, die komt nu uit Miami. Die is dus over een paar minuten gaat die hier landen. Die is 17 jaar oud, dus die is, dat is er eentje die wel de potentie heeft om luid te worden bij het landen. Je zal zien dat hij dat dan niet doet als jullie hier staan.
Moet je kijken hoe druk het is.
Het is druk, absoluut. Ja, Schiphol is een van de drukste luchthavens van de wereld. Dus dat blijft maar gaan.
Weer zo eentje.
Weer?
Heel veel van dezelfde.
Heel veel van dezelfde. Dit is wel een wat oudere. Dit is er eentje met kleinere motoren. En deze is ook stil. Want hij heeft niet eens dat hij zijn reversers gebruikt. Normaal als die reversers worden gebruikt, dan gaan bij die motoren gaat dat open. Dat gaat een stukje naar achter en dan opent dat en van binnen zit een soort reflectoren waardoor die lucht naar buiten gaat en dat het afremt.
Oh ja.
Dus soms bij de KLM zie je dat ze dat niet eens open doen.
Dus
die remmen alleen dan gewoon puur op de lucht en de luchtweerstand en de remmen.
Ja. Dus ze hangen gewoon achter elkaar keurig te wachten.
En nu komt er ook weer een van de nieuwere dingen aan. Dit is van Arkia. Deze komt uit Israël. Dit is een A321 Neo. Dus dat is ook een van de nieuwste kisten. Transavia heeft er nu ook eentje sinds november. Die is ook super stil. Zelfs als die ook de reversers gebruikt. Maar dan wordt die wel luider dan zonder.
Nou, ik leer wel veel van je. Hangt er daar nog eentje achter ook?
Ja.
De derde?
Ja, die daarachter, dat is ook, die is groot. Dat is een Dreamliner van de grootste categorie, 7810. Dus dat is wel een nieuw vliegtuig.
Ja.
Is ook half composiet, een stuk lichter ook. Maar ook van die grote motoren. En dat zie je hier ook. Relatief grote motoren, grote diameter. Ja. Hoe groter de diameter ten opzichte van het vliegtuig, zou ik maar zeggen, hoe stiller ze zijn. Dus ook deze. Ja, nou ja, en je zult zien, volgende die komt, dat is dus een vrij grote, maar dat is ook een vrij nieuwe.
Dat is niet deze toch die je bedoelt?
Jawel, die er nu aankomt. Die er nu aankomt, dat is een Dreamliner 7810. Dat is ook de grootste. Je hebt de 787 en dan heb je daar nog de 8, de 9 en de 10. Dit is de grootste.
Oké.
Dus deze, je zou zeggen, als je hem zo meteen voorbij ziet komen en je ziet hoe lang die is, dan zou je denken, oh, die is luid. Valt dus best wel mee. Tenzij die reversers gaat gebruiken, maar KLM kennende doen ze dat niet.
Hij heeft 2 motoren, toch?
Hij heeft 2 motoren. Komt uit Atlanta. KLM Flight 622, 787-10 Dreamliner, 7 hours and 24 minutes underway now. The airplane is 4 years old, first flight December 2019. En indeed the biggest in the fleet, de grootste in de vloot die KLM heeft van dit type. Je zag wel dat dus op die motoren dat die achterste helft die gaat open. Dus dat is wel om de reversers te kunnen laten draaien. Maar je hoorde, het was een redelijk stille landing, dus hij gebruikte ze niet. Dus dat zie je dat ze heel vaak doen.
Het is zo mooi dat landen, hè? Waanzinnig knap.
Prachtig,
Ja.
absoluut.
Nou, hoe lang mag je nog?
Nee, de A380, dat wordt denk ik de laatste voor vandaag. De A340 die komt ook nog. Dat wordt misschien wel een luide. Dat is een vrij ouder toestel. Die vliegt dus nog een week, dan gaat hij eruit. Er vliegen er geloof ik nu nog minder dan 100 wereldwijd van. Dus het is vrij zeldzaam om die te zien.
Hoe laat komt hij?
Ja, hij vliegt nu al voor de kust. Ik denk 7 minuten, zegt Flight Radar. Dus die is over 10, 15 minuten hier. De A380, die komt er ook aan. Die vliegt nu boven Deventer. En ja, de vraag is een beetje, komt hij op deze landingsbaan of... Guys, where is the A380 going to land? Has it been assigned to center or to polderbaan? Want de A380 die heeft 2 verdiepingen van voor tot achter. Het grootste vliegtuig. Super luid. Er is er maar eentje die naar Amsterdam komt, 1 keer per dag. Emirates komt altijd rond deze tijd, gaat dan weer 3 uur later weer terug naar Dubai. Als die hier komt landen, dan kan je horen hoe luid dat wel niet is. Want die gebruikt bijna altijd wel de reversers behoorlijk hard.
Oh ja?
Gisteren niet, je zal zien dat hij het vandaag ook niet doet dan. Maar dat is er wel eentje die de potentie heeft om luid te worden. Has been assigned to polder. Okay, so definitely worth sticking around for then. If you want to see a big airplane that might get loud. In the meantime, I'm half-assing my live stream here, talking in Dutch with the film crew, but hope you guys understand. We're sticking around for the A340 that is landing in a couple of minutes, preceded by it is preceded by LATAM cargo flight 1501 767-300 that is now on the glide slope and already visible. Now the number 2 behind the Embraer 190 arriving from London City. Can we see it already? Visibility is good. Let me see. I know it should be visible, but it's always hard to see it when it's so far away. No, I don't see it just yet. So let's just stay with what we can see. KLM flight 988 up next. Arriving from London City, flight time 40 minutes. Embraer 190, 10 years old, first flight February 2014. Maar er komen dus 3 grote kisten aan zometeen met de potentie om luid te worden. Als je het verschil wil horen. Our next airplane to arrive. LATAM cargo, flight 1501, Boeing 767-300ER, arriving from Miami, Florida. 8 hours and 8 minutes underway. 17 years old, first flight October 2006. Sorry? Deze is 17 jaar oud. Als ik moet ik weer even het venster openen. Ja. 767. Zie je ook niet meer zoveel. Wordt ook vooral nog voor cargo gebruikt tegenwoordig. idle reversers, so very quiet. Nice for the people living around Schiphol, not so much for us. For us a bit disappointing, but more chances ahead of us. The next airplane is going to be one of the last times that we are going to see it. 4 engines arriving from Suriname, from Paramaribo. The A340-300. Last week in service, will be replaced by the A330 from the March 24th onward. Sadly, the lease contract will not be renewed. So this is the last week, and I already had a look at the weather predictions for later in the week. Doesn't look too good, so not sure if we are going to see this airplane on this channel after today anymore. Might be the last time. Surinam Airways Flight 994 A340-300 on the way now for 8 hours and 14 minutes. The airplane is 15 years old. The first flight was in April 2008.
Is het een beetje op gemiddelde leeftijd van een vliegtuig, 15 jaar?
Nee, eigenlijk valt het wel mee. De meeste vliegtuigen die je tegenwoordig ziet, die zijn best wel een stuk jonger. Het ligt wel ook heel erg aan het type. Want die
Is 15 oud?
Nee, valt wel mee. Valt wel mee. Maar deze heeft 4 motoren en dat is hetzelfde als met die 747's. Dat is gewoon veel minder fuel efficient. Wat je tegenwoordig ziet is dat alles 2 motoren heeft.
Oh, ja?
Want die motoren worden steeds beter. Dus vroeger moest je 4 motoren hebben om ook over de oceaan te kunnen vliegen.
Ja.
Tegenwoordig niet meer. Ook vliegtuigen, zelfs hele kleintjes, narrow bodies, waar je dus maar 1 rij in het midden hebt tussen de stoelen. Die motoren zijn tegenwoordig al zo goed dat je daarmee van Boston of van New York naar Amsterdam mag vliegen.
Oh, okay.
Vroeger mocht dat niet, vanwege de veiligheid. Tegenwoordig is dat allemaal geen probleem. Dus er is eigenlijk ook niet meer zoveel markt voor motoren of voor 4-motorige vliegtuigen. Dat met steeds meer striktere milieunormen en ook het relatief hoge brandstofverbruik.
Ja. Dit is echt een bakbeest, hè?
Dit is een bakbeest. Maar bakbeest met de kleinste motoren. Dus hier wordt ook wel over gegrapt dat hij door hairdryers wordt voortgestuwd. En je hebt, als een vogel tegen een vliegtuig aanvliegt, dan heb je het over een birdstrike. En deze is zo langzaam en klimt ook zo langzaam dat ook wel wordt gezegd dat deze de enige is die ook het risico heeft op birdstrikes from behind. Alsof de vogels tegen het vliegtuig aanvliegen.
Ja.
Right, might be the last time that we're going to see the A340 on the channel, at least from Surinam Airways. Let's look and listen. Yes. Dat is een verschilletje. Volgens mij had het nog wel wat luider gekund. Hij gebruikte wel de reversers, maar niet excessively. De A380 die komt dus ook. Die vliegt nu net boven Almere. Dus die moet dan nog een bocht maken naar het noorden. Dat hij die kant op gaat. Dan vliegt hij die kant op. Dan komt hij deze kant op. En er zijn nog wel een aantal kisten ook die ervoor komen. Dus ik denk dat het nog een minuutje of 10 duurt.
Oké. Nou, ik laat je weer.
Is goed, dankjewel.
Dankjewel.
Ja, jij ook bedankt.
Superleuk om dit even te zien.
Absoluut.
Geniet nog van de dag.
Ga ik zeker doen, jullie ook.
Ja,
Werk ze. En dit is
11 april.
11 april, 4 april, de andere, jullie zijn van 11 april. Pointer, NPO 2,
Yeah.
check.
Check, dankjewel man.
Hey, jullie ook bedankt
Fijne
jongens. Werk ze, fijne dag. Nee, die komt over 10 minuten. Die vliegt nu boven Almere. Die komt eraan. Hij komt ook naar deze landingsbaan. Righty, the crew is on their way again. So, yeah. There might now be 2 episodes in which I might feature. At least the interview that just took place will be aired on Dutch national television NPO 2 on the 11th of April. I will put a link to their website. You can watch it online as well. Monique says, are you going to put subtitles in the on the video? I hope that Google Translate, I hope that the YouTube algorithm is good enough that it can keep up with me talking fast-pacedly in Dutch. Anyway, this is KLM flight 1008 arriving from London Heathrow, Boeing 737-800. Tripod, camera, microphone and a utility card. Great minds think alike, that's all I'm saying. Righty, German Airways flying for KLM. KLM flight 1546, Embraer 190 arriving from Leeds. Flight time 46 minutes, it's an Embraer 190 short range, 16 years old, first flight January 2008. And there's an A320neo from EasyJet behind. It's a bit wobbly. There it is. Thank you so much, Hans. And thank you, Wolfgang, for letting me know. 10 gifted memberships. Very generous. Thank you so much. If you are one of the recipients of the gifted memberships from Hans, don't forget to say thank you if you haven't already. Be sure to use the custom emojis that are now at your disposal whenever you see fit. Hans, dankjewel man. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Also super stickers. Fuck, why are you guys donating stuff when I cannot interact with you? Now, let me see. Yeah, super chat from Evelyn. Thank you so much. MPO2. The program is called Pointer. Thank you so much, Evelyn. There was another one. Oh, scrolling through those messages. Jerry, thank you so much. Bear character with lovey-dovey eyes blowing red hearts in the air. Thank you so much, guys. Sorry, I was busy getting interviewed. I did not see this, and thank you for letting me know. All right. So, and this interview was for the episode of Pointer of April 11th, and the guys from Euro Aviation TV were also taking another crew with them when I was filming on the other side of this runway. And they also filmed some footage from me that was to be aired on April 4th. Maybe a teaser on the 4th and then the interview on the 11th. Right, A380 on the glide slope. And Jitse, will we see what you look like when you get on TV? Absolutely. And if you want to see a goofy face, go to my community section, because Stranger Sriram made a nice selfie yesterday when he, Jendrusek, Lorenzo were visiting. So you can already see what my goofy face looks like if you go to the community section where I posted that picture. And also a picture that Lorenzo took of me while working in action. The Emirates A380, number 3, on the glide slope already. First up, a few narrow bodies. KLM flight 1166 up first, arriving from Helsinki, Finland. Has landed safely. Next. Next up, Embraer 175, KLM flight 962, arriving from Newcastle. 50 minutes in the air to get here. 6 years old, first flight January 2018. The A380, now number 2, up next. Lucky us, it's now not yet in the top 10 on flight radar. Would be nice if we can get it in there, maybe even top 3. We have 800 people watching, so I see possibilities. Also a big thank you to Erwin, who just now gifted 5 memberships. Welcome new members, courtesy of Erwin. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you. And be sure to use those custom emojis such as the Emirates tail, the A380. Up next. And thank you once again, Erwin, for your generosity. Now, a quick look at the landing, and then it is back to the A380. Sadly, this film crew already left. They left too soon. The biggest of them all. Hopefully, they will still be able to see it land from the parking place. Up next, Emirates A380 flight 147, arriving from Dubai. 6 hours 45 minutes of flight time, which is a bit longer than normal. Normally it averages around 6.5 hours at this stage. The airplane is 8 years old. The first flight was in March 2016. No, it's still not in the top 10. How many more are needed? And 60k subs have arrived. Thank you for letting me know, Wolfgang. This morning we were 50 or so away. So thank you all so much for that. 16k subscribers. Nice hallmark. Blue sky is on my left hand side. It is opening up. Very nice. Now let's look and listen. The A380. That is such a shame. Well, the Emirates A380 has arrived. Very quietly. Unfortunately for us. Wasn't meant to be. The 747s also kept quiet today. Ryanair made more of a ruckus, and Chris Coot as well than those big birds did. Still, what a sight to behold. flying apartment building with wings has safely landed once again. Now, that was the last airplane for today, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to wrap it up now. So thank you all so much for joining me here today on this still a bit cloudy, but looking to the west, ever sunnier Monday. Hopefully the predictions for the second half of the week are going to improve. I am going to watch it closely. I hope I can go out again for another live stream on Thursday, but it's all weather permitting, as it always is over here. So if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and if YouTube does work, you should get notified whenever I go live again and announce a new stream. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked it. I certainly had a good time. Sorry for the long interview in Dutch for those of you who don't speak Dutch. I hope you guys have a nice day and the remainder of the week. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks for all the support. Thank you so much for your super chats and super stickers, for the gifted memberships, for becoming a member yourself. Thank you for the PayPal donations and the merch store purchases. You guys rock. This channel is nothing without you guys. Also, thank you for the 16k subscribers. Nice hallmark. On to the 20 and 25k next. Thank you, moderators, for once again keeping the chat safe, happy, and welcoming. Thank you all for joining. I will see you on the next one. Be safe and talk to you soon. Bye for now.